What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Faisal Al-Edaily. Today we're going to be doing another algebra video. Today we're going to be talking about slope, intercept form, linear equations, linear algebra actually to be exact. Slope intercept form is kind of hard to say because it's like a tongue twister. It's one of the three forms on how you write a linear equation. And today we're going to be going over this form, and it's actually the most commonly used form. Now, this is what the slope intercept form is. Y equals to mx plus b. Now you might be saying, Faisal, what the heck is this? What are these variables? Well, let's go over each one. Now, y would be the value on the y line, which is like, so here we got a graph. This horizontal line, this is the x line, and then the y line is this vertical line. So if y is 5, that means it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, if y is 5 and x is 0. If x is 5, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then x would be right here. I know it's kind of hard to see the dots. Maybe if I use like a different color. So this is y5 and this is x5. So that's what y means. And you can see y equals mx plus b. X is the x coordinate. Now, you may be asking, what is m? What is this? Now, this is slope. Now, what is slope? If we have a horizontal line, the slope is 0 because it's not. Now, wait. Actually, before I tell you this, let's see what the formula is to calculate the slope. So let's say you got 2 points. So let's do y2 minus y1. So the first point's y value minus the second point's y value over the second point's x value minus the second point's first point's x value, which is equal to delta y over delta x. Now, delta is a symbol you see in physics, calculus, and other stuff, like algebra. It basically just means the change. So the change in y over the change in x. Or, you can see rise, like how much it goes up, over the run. This is the easiest one. But for educational sake, I'm going to be using this one, the formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, if we have a horizontal line, all of the y values won't change, so it will be just 0 on the top. And 0 over anything is 0, so that means that the slope of a horizontal line is just 0. Now, what about a line where it goes up 2 and then right 1 every thing? So if y goes up by 2, x goes up by 1. So let's say it starts at 0, 0. So it's going to be y2, which is 2, minus y1, which is 0, over x2, which is now 1, minus 0. So 2 minus 0 is 2, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So 2 over 1, that's just 2. So 2 is the slope of this line right here. So that's just what the slope is. It's a pretty big thing in all of algebra, so you need to master this because this is going to be an important thing in, no, not all of algebra, all of linear algebra. And same thing with b. B is a little more simple. Now, let's say we have a graph here. So let's have a graph of 5 on each side. Kind of slow here, but that's okay. So we have a graph of 5 on each side. Now, let's say the y-intercept, which is b, equals to 3, or negative 3, let's say. So that means that one of the points, the y-intercept, what it is basically, it's just when x is 0. And there's a point where x is 0 and b is something. So here, if x is 0 and b is negative 3, that means it's going to be on the y-axis. It's going to be there. It's a requirement. So it's going to be right here on minus 3. There's also x-intercept, which it would be on like the x-axis over here, but we're not going to talk about that since it's not as important, or not nearly as important as the y value or the y-intercept, because the y-intercept shows up, it's like it's kind of like the slope. It's a important thing in linear algebra. So we're done with this. So now let's go and do graphing. Let's graph each one of these graphs or equations, whatever you want to call them. So we have here y equals to 2x minus 4. Now, what is the slope and what is the y-intercept? Well, if you recall, let me actually do this, y equals to mx plus b. So this means that 2 corresponds to m and negative 4 corresponds to b, which means that m is equal to 2 and b is equal to negative 4, off of just common sense, and that is correct. So, like I said before, b is when x is 0, so b, negative 4, it has to be over here. If you count, you'll see that negative 4, or 0, negative 4 is right here. So, if it's 2, that means it's 2 over 1, which means that it's going to go 2, using rise over run, of course, it's going to go 2 up each time, and then to the right, it's going to go once each time. So we're going to go 2, travel like this, and then once like this, which will lead me to this point right here. Right here. And then let's do this again. So 2 like that, and then 1 like that. So it'll lead us to right here. That's how it works. Let's do it again. 1 or 2 and then 1. So it'll leave us right here. And then you can add as many lines as you can, but I'm just going to do 4 because you can add infinite lines actually. So let's put an arrow here and an arrow here, and then let's put my technical ruler, and we can just I kind of missed the dot, but that's okay because my dots aren't like perfect. But as you can see, even though the dots are not aligned, you can see it just goes on forever like this. And you can actually use Desmos.com to graph anything you want. Desmos.com, you can use it to graph whatever you want. And it's actually it's free, and you don't need to sign up or anything for it. You can just type equations and they'll be there. So Desmos is a very helpful tool when it comes to linear algebra and other graphing in general, honestly. So that's this. Okay, next we got 2y over is equal to x. Now what does this mean? Well, let's go over this. Now this is not proper slope-intercept form, because in slope-intercept form it's y equal, not 2y. So you have to divide by 2. So we gotta divide by 2, and then here divide by 2. That's going to be equal to y equals to x over 2. And then, what is x over 2? What is that exactly? Well, that's x times 1 over 2, which is 1 over 2x. So here you can see we don't have a y-intercept. So we can just start at 0 because the y-intercept is 0. So let's put a point right here. Let's use the pink color because I like that color. So we'll put, this point actually is known as the origin, which is the point that's under, or not under, that's in the exact middle of the graph. So just if you're wondering. So 1, we're going to go up 1, and then 2 to the right. That's like right there. And then we keep doing that. We just do that, and then we can connect it with a line. I'm not going to use the technical ruler this time because it'll take a little too much time and it's not really worth it. So this is the line. So we graphed that pretty quickly actually. Let's go to the next one. Y equals to 2 over 3x plus 5. Alright, so first of all, the dot will be right here, because the y-intercept, I mean. And we can actually use negative 2 over 3, but, so, negative 2 over 3 exactly. Wait, why is this not here? Let's do that. It's going to go down 2 and then 3 to the left. So that's going to be like what, right here? Yeah. And then we do it again. So we got to go down 2 and then 3 to the left. So right there. I know it's not very symmetric because I'm not very good at this, but you can see it's kind of like that. So that's how you graph that one. And then we have this. Now 5y over, we have to divide again. So divided by 5, and then divide this whole thing by 5. So this is going to be equal to y equals to 4 over 5x plus 15 over 5, which is just equal to 3. So the y-intercept is 3, which is right here, I think, yeah. And then same thing here, we can just... Why is this graph not finished? It's kind of weird. We don't actually have to graph like many points, so we can just don't do that at all. So plus 4 and then 5 right here. And plus 4y and then plus 5x, which is going to be right here. And then connect them with a dot. And you got your graph done. It's as simple as that. Don't you think it's very simple? That's great. Now let's talk about converting, I don't know what the plural or not, the present verb of it is, but whatever. So we're gonna convert from point slope form to slope intercept form. So let's do this. Now you can see here it's y minus 5, but here it's y. So we need this to be isolated, y to be isolated. But before we do that, let's distribute 3 to x plus 2 using the distributive property, just so it can be proper, more proper, you know. So 3 times x plus 2, 3 times x is just 3x, 3 times 2 is just plus 6. So now we can add 5 to both sides, so we can cancel out the negative 5, so y is alone. So let's cancel out this, and then we bring down the y, and bring down 3x. 3x plus 6 plus 5, that's equals to 3x plus 11. And that's it. We converted it, and that's the answer. Let's do this again. So we have the same situation here. So let's not cancel, let's not isolate y. Let's distribute 2 over 3 times 2x minus 1. So 2 over 3 times 2x. Well, let's think about it. 2, you can either divide the denominator or multiply the numerator. Numerators are very easy to multiply, so let's just do that. 2 times 2 equals to 4, so we have 4 over 3x. And then we have 2 over 3 minus 1, which is negative 2 over 3. And then, now we can just minus 3 to both sides. So minus 3, minus 3. So these cancel. Bring down y, bring down 4 over 3x, so y equals to 4 over 3x minus 2 over 3 minus 2 over 3. Now what is negative 2 over 3 minus 3? Well, think about it. That's just going to be 3 and 2 over 3. So it's going to be minus 3 and 2 over 3 as a mixed number. And if you want as an improper fraction, you can multiply these to give you 9, and then you have 9 over 3, or not 9 over 3, sorry, plus here, plus 2. So that's going to be 11 over 3. But we don't need that, it's kind of complicated to do. So let's just leave it like this. So this is how it is in slope intercept form. Let's do this again. This one's a little more simple because now we have to convert it into slope intercept form, or point slope form. So first we need y minus 1. So let's just do minus 2 and minus 2. So these cancel, bring down 3x, and then y minus 2. And y minus 2 equals 3x, that's proper point slope form, don't worry. So here, we gotta do the same thing, but first, we gotta do over 2, because this is not even proper slope intercept form. So it's gonna be, these cancel obviously, so we have y equals to 16 over 2, x over 2, which is 8x, minus 8 over 2, which is 4. So we have 8x minus 4. And then we have to do plus 4, and then plus 4 here. And then these cancel. 8x, bring down 8x, which equals to y plus 4. And it's as simple as that. So you can, now after watching this video, you can graph equations in slope intercept form. You can convert from point slope form to slope intercept form, and vice versa. So that's good. And I also taught you at the beginning what all of these meanings are. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn that button gray and follow my space on Quora. The name will be in the description. And yeah, peace out and try to graph and convert those slope-intercept form linear equations.